Okay, so, alright, you might hear some Rich Love in the background, but today we're going to be reacting to a channel called His Story. Let's get to it.
I told my girlfriend's mom I was the world's biggest Twilight fan because her living room had 6 Edward posters and I wanted her to like me. She grabbed both my hands and whispered, "Finally, someone for trivia night." Then she pulled me toward the basement stairs and shouted, "Everybody get dressed. We start in 20." My girlfriend leaned close while her mom carried out a cardboard cutout of Jacob. "You told her you loved the books?" I said. I thought liking vampires was enough. Her uncle walked past us in a blonde wig, and her cousins hurried downstairs with glitter smeared across their cheeks and collarbones like they had just stepped into vampire sunlight. Someone planted a life-size werewolf beside the snacks, and her mom rang a bell shaped like an apple, and I realized I had lied myself into Forks, Washington. Her mom pointed at me first. "Easy one. Who turned Edward into a vampire?" I had seen one movie on cable, half asleep, so I gripped my paper plate and guessed the first doctor name I could find in my brain. "Carlisle." The basement clapped. Uncle Carlisle adjusted his blonde wig, like I had honored his bloodline. Her mom leaned over the scorecard. "What gift does Jasper have?" I pinched my girlfriend's sleeve under the table. She did not help. "Bad vibes?" The room went silent. Then her cousin said, "Technically, emotional manipulation." Everyone clapped again. I stopped gripping the plate. Twilight sounded fake, even when it was real. Her mom asked why vampires played baseball during thunderstorms. I said, "Because they hit the ball like a car crash." Correct. Then she smiled. "What did Jacob do after Bella had her baby?" I sank lower in my chair, while the werewolf cutout leaned over the snacks. No real answer could be normal, so I built the worst sentence I could. "He fell in love with the baby?" My girlfriend covered her face. Her mom slammed the apple bell. "Imprinted. But yes." Her mom stood and cleared her throat. "Final question. Alice can see the future. Unless what?" The whole sparkly family turned to look at me expectantly. I began to sweat, knowing I couldn't fake my way out of this one. My girlfriend shook her head, begging me to stop. But Twilight had taught me one thing. The answer was whatever made the least sense. Unless someone changes their mind? Her mom dropped the scorecard. The basement went silent. Then Uncle Carlisle whispered, "That's correct." My girlfriend grabbed my sleeve. "How are you doing this?" I waved one hand at the Jacob cutout, the glitter, and the bell. After the baby imprinting thing, I stopped trying to be right and started trying to be Twilight. Her mom smeared glitter across my face. "You get to be Edward next month." I told my girlfriend's mom I was the world's biggest Twilight fan. I was in the middle of my...
Okay, bro. Okay, bro. I know it's gonna offend some of you guys, but I've never seen Twilight. Yep. And I don't plan on it. And we're gonna be doing I'm gonna be watching a trend soon where it's Minecraft quotes. And basically, I got this idea from my friend, which he sent me a few of them last night.
biology
Not last night, but a few nights ago.
final when I looked up and saw a clown with his face pressed against the classroom window. I tried to ignore him because I hadn't had time to study for this test and didn't need the distraction, but he was staring right at me and smiling with all his teeth. A few students
Bro, you about to get diddled, my boy.
giggled, and my teacher sighed. "Everyone focus, please." Nobody focused because he started making balloon animals. He made a flower and pretended to smell it. Then he twisted 6 balloons into a long knife. He dragged it slowly across his own throat while staring directly into my eyes with the huge smile still on his face. I started shaking because this test was about to be the least of my problems. My teacher shot up so fast her chair flew backward. Then she grabbed the wall phone, and 30 seconds later, the intercom crackled. "Entering lockdown. Teachers, please secure your classrooms immediately."
Damn. Yo, W teacher for doing that.
She hit the lights, and we scrambled to the back wall in the dark. A nearby window rattled, then another one, even closer. "Oh my God, he's trying to get in," someone whispered. Suddenly, 2 fists hit our window so hard, the whole frame rattled, and I started to cry. The window cracked, then we heard footsteps running outside, and people shouting. There was a huge crash right below the window, followed by silence. My teacher flipped the lights on, and we ran to the window. 2 officers had the clown on the ground with his red wig beside him, and his face paint smeared off. The whole class recognized him immediately. It was the class clown Andres. One of the officers crossed his arms. "You want to tell us what exactly you were doing out here?" Andres hung his head. "It was a joke. I just wanted everyone to get sent home early." The officer shook his head. "And the knife?" Andres sighed. "I didn't think that part through." I slid down the wall and sat on the floor with my head between my knees. My teacher crouched next to me. "You can retake the test another day." I took a
W teacher. W teacher.
Deep breath. Cool. I was in the middle of a middle-aged man barged into my barbershop, skipping the entire line and pushing the old man I was about to cut out of the chair. I've got a date in 30 minutes. I need to look perfect for her. Everybody else can wait. He plops down into the chair and tells me to start. I shake my head. That's not this works. But he's already shoving $200 at me. I'll pay double, but you're cutting me right now. He stares at the old man he just shoved. Get in the line. He snaps his fingers at me. I look at the customers still waiting, then grin deviously. Fine, I'll cut you right now, I tell him. He groans, finally, then takes out his phone, looking down to book reservations and not paying attention to what I'm doing. I buzz my clippers to life, and hair immediately starts falling from his head in random patterns. An S appears on the top. He looks ridiculous, but he's too focused on his phone to look at me. I know the owner personally, so mess this up and you're done here. Now hurry up. My date will get sad if I'm late, but his date will get sad either way, as his head looks like a blindfolded third grader's arts and crafts project. Other customers start giggling at how he looks, and suddenly he turns around. What's everyone laughing at? He raises his head towards the mirror for the first time and sees the abomination that is his haircut. I throw my hands up. Isn't this what you wanted? He instantly leaps out his chair, looking like he's about to punch me. You ruined my date, you incompetent weasel. I'm still laughing as someone pulls out their phone to take a photo of him. But just as he curls his fists, the barbershop bell chimes. A bald 7-year-old girl walks in. Daddy, are you ready for our date? His face turns to smile as he turns around. Of course, sweetheart. My stomach turns in horror as I realize he's going on a date with his daughter who has cancer, and I just destroyed his hair. But then she points at him. You look so stupid, Daddy. She clutches her belly laughing, and suddenly the man pulls me into a giant hug. I still hate the haircut, but that's the first time she's laughed in months, thank you. He pulls away, and I watch them walk out together, laughing about his hair. A middle-aged man barged into my barbershop, skipping the entire line and pushing the old man I was about to cut out of the chair. I've got a date in 30 minutes. I need to look perfect for her. Everybody else...
Nah, bro. I thought he was gonna brutal. I thought that motherfucker was gonna become EDP.
Wait, he plops. I was halfway across the old rope bridge when it started swinging, and I almost got flung straight into the air.
Well, don't fucking cross it. Go the other way. Maybe Big Dick Randy was on that bridge, ready to take that booty. Alright, so we're gonna search up another thing.
To get out of our room because my date was coming over for Netflix and chill. When she came over, I grabbed the remote and quickly turned the TV on because I was nervous. We were about to get freaky deaky when her smile dropped like something was wrong. I asked if everything was okay, but her face twisted and she slapped me so hard my ears started ringing. You're disgusting, you piece of shit. Before I could say anything, she grabbed her stuff and walked out. I held my face, wondering what the hell just happened. The next morning, I walked into college and her friends shoved me into a locker while another one threw a drink in my face. You're going to pay for what you did, you nasty bum. I threw my hands up. What are you talking about? What did I do? But they just walked off. The whole college was whispering and staring at me like I'd killed someone. When I got to my locker, I froze. Racist was spray painted across it in big red letters. My hands were shaking. I'd never been a racist or acted that way, so I needed to figure out why everyone suddenly thought I was one. I tried to text her, but she'd already blocked me on everything. When I finally cornered her in the hallway, I begged, what did I do? I seriously don't understand. She glared at me with pure hatred. You know what you did. You played that on your TV on purpose to disrespect me. I just stood there because I'd turned the TV on without even looking, and I never saw what was playing behind me. It didn't click until I got home. I walked into my room, and my little brother was sprawled on his bed, cracking up at the TV. I looked at the screen, and my heart sank. South Park was on, and the characters were saying the most racist stuff I'd ever heard. My little brother had been watching it right before she came over, and when I grabbed the remote and turned the TV on, it picked up right where he left off. My engine died in the middle
Dumbass.
of an empty road while there was nobody around, so I simply looked down and cranked the ignition until my tractor came back
Bro. These memes are fucking hilarious.
to life. But But then red and blue lights immediately lit up behind me. An officer stormed up to my window, red in the face, shouting, "Why were you going 130 miles per hour? The speed limit is 80. I laughed at first and pointed to my tractor's speedometer. "Officer, this thing tops out at 40. But he pulled out a speed camera that takes your photo and measures your speed. It showed me in my tractor 130 miles per hour underneath in red. My stomach dropped. "Your thing is broken. Look at what I'm driving." But he shook his head and slid the camera back into his belt. The camera doesn't lie. He yanked my door open and dragged me down onto the road. I stumbled as he spun me around and clicked the cuffs around my wrists. I screamed, "I wasn't speeding. I'm driving a 40-year-old tractor." My engine died in the middle of an empty...
Bro. Well, that's gonna do it for this video. See you guys later, and goodbye.